Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Laura Canfield Show, the Awaken to Happiness Now Global Series. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. And, you know, our goal, our purpose, our desire, our intention is to support you in being the best version of you, living your greatest life. And so this is part of the reason why we do these shows, is so that we can support you in whatever way that we can. And we bring these wonderful healers, speakers, teachers here to assist you and guide you, and to share their wisdom and their energy and frequency and love. So today we have my good friend Amy Flynn back with us, so yay. And today she's going to be talking about awakening and evolving within the 2020 Portal of Divine Rebirth. And so Amy and the collective will be answering questions, offering insight, and simultaneously clearing non-beneficial energies during this call. And so we are going to receive from this call new insight and understanding of the journey through the current portal of divine rebirth. We're going to receive a roadmap for navigating the energetic shifts within the portal of divine rebirth, immersion into the uplifting crystalline rainbow starlight frequencies with divine crystalline activations. And we're also going to do a guided meditative journey into the heart of the portal of divine rebirth to energetically imprint the new you wish to create within the portal. So I'm so excited. And Amy, as you know, for most of you know, has been with us since the very beginning, back in 2013. Amy is a source-guided intuitive, a spiritual teacher, an energy transmitter, healer, medical intuitive, a source voice channel, and a money Reiki grandmaster. She's guided by her lifelong clear, strong connection with source and her powerful abilities to clear, restructure, and balance energy. A born channeler accessing her spiritual gifts from birth, Amy is the voice channel for an expression of non-physical source consciousness called the collective, who lovingly transform all they interact with. Amy and the collective radiate uplifting, joyful energy as they make the esoteric and the profound accessible and fun, and together they quickly shift people into a higher vibration of love and realization. So I'm so excited that Amy is here with us, and we're going to have a wonderful, wonderful conversation, a wonderful journey, and just be open to receiving just lots of, you know, higher vibrational energies, frequencies, and love. So Amy, welcome to the show. I will go ahead and unmute Amy again just to make sure. So welcome. Hello.
I'm unmuted.
Yeah,
I have a mute on my phone, my button on my phone I was using also.
Awesome.
So am I the only one that's unmuted?
Yeah, you're the only one, just me and you.
Okay. All right, I was on the speaker, so now I'm off the speaker. It probably sounds less echoey, right?
Yes, yes.
So I am really excited about this call. Actually, the collective are more excited about it because they know what they're going to say, and I have no idea what they're going to say, so I have a little bit of nervousness because I always have that nervousness.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea what they're going to say. And they have been, this is ridiculous, but they have been bugging me about wanting to do their comedy show. The collective think that they're comedians, and they are convinced that they want to go on a comedy tour. I told them not with my body. So I don't know what body they're taking on the tour, but I recently did. Yeah, it is interesting. And their jokes are ones that you have to be non-physical to get. So they were practicing another one with me earlier, and I told them, no, we're not going to do a joke today. No jokes, no jokes. So now, if they come out with a joke, I tried my best. I'm not really in control of them once they've got, you know, the body and they're going, but I think they won't do a joke. So I think we're going to be okay.
And anyway, even if they do, it's okay. We'll just run with it. We'll go with it.
Okay, and it actually might be a funny joke. Who knows, you know? Yeah. Anyway, what they're going to talk about is something that I have wanted them to talk about and to look at, and that is what's happening right now from a higher perspective so that we can understand it. You know, down in the nitty gritty, like we all have the knowledge of what's happening on the nitty gritty because we're being inundated with it constantly, you know, by the news. In the news, they're telling us what we can and can't do, and, you know, how we have to be restricted and we can't freely do things and all that. So we're all aware of that, and we're aware of the impact of that. And the impact of it on each person is slightly different, but it does impact everyone. What the collective say is that something much bigger and more important, and actually more important than that, it's something that we have wanted, is happening really. So, you know, I'll let them describe it better, but you could say it's happening in energy, or it's happening, you know, since everything's energy, it's really what's happening, in other words.
Right.
But I'm going to let them describe it. So I will relax. Let me get a little bit of water here, because I'm not going to let them drink water. They'll probably choke. Hold on.
No worries. Yes, and it's a good idea for everybody to have some water. All right. So because,
Yes.
like I said, this is
Yes.
going to be a high vibe call, so you definitely want to have some water handy.
Yes, and I'm also going to blow my nose. Hold on. I have got allergies, but when the collective take over the body, the allergies are usually they usually go away. But I'm just going to blow my nose here because it's running. So hang on one sec.
No worries. Take your time.
Okay. It's okay.
Oops.
All right. So now I am sitting down. Now, I know this is a Zoom, by the way, so the people are looking at you, right? But they're not looking at me.
Well,
is that correct?
All they can see is a big green thing with a telephone on it. And then when I talk, they see me.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I talk,
Okay.
they see me. When
Okay.
you talk, they see that green thing with a telephone on it.
Okay, because I'm far away from the computer. You know, my mobile phone. I'm on a landline.
Yeah.
So
All good.
you know, I'm not looking at anything. So I don't know what they're seeing. I don't want to be distracted by that. So I'm just like far away from that. Okay, so I'm gonna bring the collective in. Hang on. We are here. Woo! Okay, we think we're here.
Awesome. Welcome. It's been a while.
Yes, it has been a while, hasn't it? Well, not since we were here, but since we were here with you. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
We were here last month, so we were having a good time. And we pop through all the time with Amy. Sometimes it drives her crazy because it's like, here we are. But we're very helpful to her, too. We help her find things that she can't see in the back of the closet. She'll say, please find this for me. And we find it right away because we can see everything. Okay, so we are really excited to be here with you today. And even though Amy asked us not to do a joke, we will try our very, very best not to let our joke come out. It's possible one might leak out, but we will do our best. And what we want to talk to you about, though, is something that's really, it's important for everyone to know. And we don't want to make it such a big, heavy thing because there's nothing that's really heavy ever that's happening. It's just a movement of energy. And sometimes the movement of energy can feel wonderful and fantastic and uplifting. And sometimes the movement of energy can feel uncomfortable, maybe a bit heavy and maybe scary. But the thing is, it's all the movement of energy. There's nothing that's different. It's not one time it's like this big thing here, and another time it's this big thing there. It's all basically the same. It's just different frequencies of energy, different patterns of energy. And so how those differences are interpreted by your sensory sensory inputs in your brain are different. They vary from time to time. And don't underestimate the impact of the collective input, meaning the community and what the community is saying and how the community is feeling, because that creates its own frequencies, its own energy, and that impacts you also. And it colors your experience of the true energy that's happening and flowing. So it's really kind of always this weave of everything. And unfortunately, people that communicate information and share things with the world, that would be mostly the media and others, but it's always a form of media, regular media, the social media, but it's all different people. They don't look at things from an energetic perspective, and they don't then communicate responsibly. They just kind of communicate. And so the effects of those communications are then felt by everybody slightly differently because you're all processing things differently and you're all unique. but not necessarily in a helpful way. So let's look at what we want to tell you first about everything. First, we want to say everything is okay. We want everyone to know that everything is okay and that everyone will be okay and everything that's happening is perfect. It's all part of a divine, we could say plan, though plan is such a strange word, but it's all part of a divine design, let's say that. And everything that's happening is meant to happen. There's nothing that's happening that is an accident. So that might help, just knowing that it's all part of a big divine design. And how we'd like to describe it to you is, from our perspective, what we're seeing is something that you have wanted for a long time, and that is a restructuring of the energy on the planet Earth, the energy within human beings, the energy within the Earth, and the energy that the Earth is going to be expressing. So the Earth is evolving, shifting upward, and so are humans. Now, in order to evolve and to shift upward, there had to be a breakdown of the old. You cannot go from a certain frequency. Now, we're going to, well, maybe we don't want to do that. Okay. We're just going to use the words, and we want to let you know that frequencies and dimensions are not stratified. They're not stratified one on top of the other. It's much more accurate to say dimensions are parallel, but they're not quite that distinctly delineated from one another. They overlap, and they're fields of energy. So that within what we call dimensions are predominant frequencies of energy. So let's say the third dimension's got predominant frequencies of energy. Then the fourth would have other predominant frequencies of energy, but the third and fourth have overlap. And then the fourth and fifth have overlap. And the fifth has its own predominant frequencies of energy. So what is happening now is the frequencies that humanity has been living, that the Earth has been holding, though the Earth has kind of moved ahead before the humans, is no longer, we would say that the energy the humans have been living is no longer compatible with the energy that the Earth is holding, has evolved to. So there has to be a shift. There has to be an evolution. Now, that evolution could be all nice and smooth and soft and fluffy, but due to the nature of human beings and due to the attaching nature, the clinging nature, and the dualistic nature of the human mind and human experience, that is not the likely route for things to take. So we come to something like we have now, which is not all nice and smooth and fluffy. You know how on your planet earthquakes happen because a tension builds up between two plates that are moving in different directions. And they're either sliding along one another, or one is diving underneath another and the other sliding on top. But there's a tension that builds up, and then when the tension gets to a certain point, there is an earthquake. The reason we mention this is because it's similar, not the same, but similar to what is happening now. The Earth has moved on to a higher frequency. So you can say it's a higher frequency, it's existing in higher dimensions, it's got the ability to be, one completely in a higher dimension, but now it's got these beings that are living on it that are not in that dimension yet. They are collectively, humanity is not there yet. So if you could look at that from an energetic point of view, because we like to share with you how it shows up to us, and that's in energy. So if you imagine you have the Earth as a ball, right? The earth is a ball, and it's all pure energy. It's just an energy ball. Now, that energy ball has moved over to here, wherever you visualize here is the spine. And then as that's happened, though, there's like a stretching of its skin. It's like this giant lump that is pulling out of the ball, that is like stretching the skin of the energy ball, and it's pulling way back. So it's got this like energy that's dragging out of it, and it's not moving where the ball has been moving. So you have the energy ball over in this frequency, in this dimension, whatever that dimension is, and then you have this big stretching of its border, if you want to call it that, its skin, and in that is what we call humanity, people, and they haven't gotten yet to where the earth is. Now, within that stretching, there's people that are closer to where the earth is, and then there's people that are very far away. So there's this big, long stretch. Well, if you imagined that you were stretching something, whether it be a rubber band, a balloon, or something, and you're pulling that a point out, what's ultimately going to happen is it's going to snap back. It's going to reach a point where it's not going to stretch anymore, and it's going to snap back. That's what's happening. We are right now experiencing the snapback of the energy. And so all of the human beings are being pushed along, pulled along to get to where the earth is, to get to the same frequencies and dimensions where the earth is. Now, in energetic time, there's really no time. But to you, it's not something that happens instantaneously. It's not going to appear to happen in a second. It could appear to happen in a year. It could appear to happen in 6 months. It could appear to happen in 2 years. But we want you to understand, or at least be able to visualize, the dynamics of what is happening energetically. This is what is happening. Now, to help more, let's see where we want to go from here. So we've given you that image. Okay. Now, with any evolution with humanity, it's a process, it's a journey. Now, to us, it doesn't seem to take the time that it seems to take for you. But for you, it seems like it's a journey through time. And on that journey, there's different experiences. There can be fantastic experiences, there can be not fantastic experiences, and there can be in-between experiences. So you're traveling through this journey. And as you travel, there are those that decide they don't want to take the long way traveling through this journey. They want to get there instantaneously. The way to get there instantaneously is to get out of the human experience. Then they become like us, part of us, and you're already there. You have access to all the dimensions. There's no more journey to go on. And there are people that decide that, and there are people that choose that. And you see that as these people are transitioning out of their bodies. They're leaving their bodies. And we want you to know that each one of them, their soul, their higher self, has chosen this way of tackling this journey. They wanted to get there instantaneously for whatever reason. Maybe it was that the soul felt this would be the easiest on their physical body. This would be the easiest on their mental body and emotional body. Everybody is in a different place. Therefore, everybody's experience of the journey will be different. And so what's happening, and has been happening for a while, is there are a lot of people transitioning out of the body. Now, it also looks like there's a lot more people transitioning out of the body now than before. And that's not true, because this journey has been building and going and pulling humanity for probably about, we would say, a good 8 years. And it's building up now to where that tension is going to get humanity there faster. So if you look back over the last 8 years, there's been a lot of deaths from things like hurricanes and earthquakes. We don't know about earthquakes, but we'll say earthquakes. Earthquakes and those things that come out of the sky, those tornadoes, and the water, the tsunamis. There's been a lot of these, and a lot of them have also produced a lot of people leaving their body. So, and then there's also been the regular amounts of disease and all those things that have been in there. So there has been an uptick in people choosing to leave their bodies. It's just that now there's much more attention on it. The media and people on the social media, may be the same ones, may not be the same ones, are putting your attention on a particular thing. Now, a lot of times they do that because they feel that it's advantageous for them to do that. It will make their people that pay attention to them increase, and therefore that's good for the business or something like that. So there's many different reasons why people are focusing on this, but what we want you to be aware of is it's not that different from anything that's been going on already. There's just a lot more attention on it. So that is, we want you to realize that experience within the physical world. So when you see all this attention being pointed on this particular thing, this particular virus and what the particular virus does and all that, and particular people who talk about the virus, you can know that that is just the attention that is being given to this virus, and it's not necessarily the virus itself. And sometimes the attention that is put on something is much greater than the energy of the thing itself. And we think that in this case, that is true. We see that is true. The energy and focus being given to this is huge. It's massive, and it's much bigger than this little virus itself. Now, the virus itself is new. It's new to humanity. And it showed up because humanity needed a big nudge. And because it's new, the human bodies they're not really sure how to interact with it. So there's a little bit of a learning curve for the bodies. Most of the bodies can interact with it and just say, okay, we got that handled, that's fine. Some of the bodies, it's a little more dramatic. And that's usually because the bodies are very busy handling other things within themselves. There's other situations going on or other balancing that needs to be handled. So the body and the body's energy is working on some other things. So when this new thing shows up, the body's like, oh, we got to deal with that one too. And it does its best. But with the resources of the body being tied up in other things, it doesn't give as much resources to battling the new thing. And then the new thing can cause more of an impact, we could say. But it's all the same thing. And it's just each individual being, working with what's showing up in its own way and in their own way. So we wanted to, the good part, we said in the beginning that in order to get to something new, you have to break down the old. Well, the old for humanity has been the way that humanity has been for eons. Arguing, fighting, not getting along in pockets, but overall not getting along in mass, and being, we could say, out for themselves. Like if you look at the countries, which are an expression of the humanity, the countries are out for themselves, and that's basically how humanity's been since, we would say, civilization organized itself. There's not been a whole bunch of change, but throughout that, humanity has evolved within its expression of this. So humanity is a lot more friendly to each other and civilized at this time than it was, say, 1,000 years ago. we think there was humanity 1,000 years. There was less. We're not really good with this time, but like in the Roman times, when we had those Roman empires and the Greek empires and all the empires, humanity was a lot more brutal towards each other, towards itself. Now humanity is kinder, but the underlying energy is still the same. So it's time for a big shift. The earth is already there, as we described. So humanity's shift is not just to be a little kinder, but to shift completely, to evolve completely into a new paradigm, to meet up with the earth. So some people call that a shifting into a new dimension. Some people say it's a new paradigm. Some people say it's evolution. Some people say it's ascension. It's all the same thing. It's a movement of energy. It's the movement of energy of you to meet where the earth is. So it's like that pull that we talked about, pulling that energy bubble. It's going to snap back. So it's in the process of doing that. Now, to do that, to get to where the earth is, to be in the new, there needs to be a releasing of the old. Well, humanity and human beings, and you can see this in your own life, are very attaching. They don't like change. Humanity likes to keep things the same. Oh, a little change is okay, but a big change is not. So a teeny change is okay, but a big change, no, that's just too uncomfortable, and it will be resisted. Well, this is a big change, and humanity has resisted this big change for a long time. But now the change is saying it's time. The change is just showing up and saying it's time to go now. Pack your bags, you're going. And humanity is saying, no, 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 still. Some are okay with it, but the majority are still clinging to what they know. So we would say that where you're going is better than where you are and where you've been. It's magnificent. It's a humanity. It's a collection of human beings where there is a love and appreciation pouring forth from each being for each other being. There's no fighting, and there's no wars, and there's no trying to steal from one another and one up one another, and in order for you to do something, someone else can't do it. All that, it does not exist. So that's where you're going, to a beautiful earth that you love and respect, and that feeds and nourishes you, and that has plenty of resources for you to use. You don't have to worry about that you're taking too many resources for the earth, because the earth will give you the resources that she has. She will not give you too much so that she can't sustain herself. She will give you what she can, and you will, in harmony with the earth, in harmony with all other beings, you will be creating an environment of living, of life, of loving, of being that is magnificent. And this environment will also be an environment in which you can evolve even further, when you can express your energetic self. You can express the perfection and uniqueness of you and your gifts. There'll be no resistance within yourself to doing so. It will just naturally flow. And everything will work together in an ebb and a flow, in a lock and an unlock. We don't know another word for that. We don't like the word lock, but like intermeshing, interfitting energy and flowing. And it's perfect. It's beautiful. Now, we don't want to describe what it's going to look like, because everybody has their own vision of what it's going to look like. And we appreciate that, and we like your little visions. We like your imaginings of what the world will be like and what it's going to look like. And some people see it's going to be like a Garden of Eden. Some other people see that it's going to be amazing technological future. There's all different views, as many beings, human beings as there are that many different visions and views. And we want you to keep those because they are tied to your expression in this new world, if we want to call it new world, because it already kind of exists, so it's not really new to us. And let's see. So we want you, we feel a lot of still questions. We know that you're coming along with this, with what we're saying, but there's still questions. And I think the questions are kind of, seems like they're pertaining to, how are we going to get there? What's that going to look like? How are we just going to wake up one day and it's going to be different? And we would say, how you're going to get there is each one of you is going to get there individually. Now, that doesn't sound so big, wow. You know, all of a sudden you wake up and it's a whole new place. But as you get there individually, many will be also getting there individually, coming along with you. And it's going to be a momentum. Remember, it's all energy, and energy flows. And as your energy flows there and others flow with you, the momentum builds. And then say, your energy's going, and then the next day, we're using time just as an example, but there's really none of this time. So the next day, someone else's energy flows there, and they bring along, or others are flowing with them. So the momentum's building, and then it becomes less than a day in between. It becomes half a day in between the next batch, and then a quarter of a day in between the next batch of people. And the momentum of the energy movement will increase. And all of a sudden, you, after not seeing anything really, but feeling it within your heart, you will feel it within your heart, and you will be being different in the world. And occasionally, you'll still see and lapse back into the old behavior and old world, if you want to call it that, old energy. But predominantly, you'll be seeing and experiencing the new energy. And then one day, you'll look around and you'll see that most people are expressing this new energy. And then a little bit further down the line, you could say in time, you'll look again and you'll notice that just about everybody is expressing this new energy. And then you'll look at the bigger picture. You'll look at the planet. You'll look at how humans are interacting with one another. You'll look at how countries are interacting with one another. And you will see that there is a big change from how it was. But it's not going to be instant, because this energy is being influenced and held and instructed by you, a being with attachments. So what does this virus have to do with everything? The virus is here to break attachments. The virus has shown up to cause you, or we could say to create the need to have to let go of a lot of the things that you took for granted, and for you to adapt new things. So the virus is here to exercise your flexibility as a being and to exercise your ability to release. And it's doing so in a pretty strong way. And a lot of that, as we said before, is due to the way communication about this virus is happening. So the communication about the virus is also supporting the releasing of the old ways of being. So the virus is very helpful in that respect, because as you release your old comfort ways of being, your old levels of comfort, and you move into new ways of being that maybe aren't so comfortable, but you are able to adapt to them, and you're able to be with them, and it's able to be okay with you. You are practicing that action of releasing the comfortable and moving to something that's a bit unknown and uncomfortable, because that's the same that you're going to have to be doing in order to be moving with the energy that is evolving to this new frequency, new dimension, new world, all that. So the virus is a little, we could say, a practice. It's allowing you to practice this. And there's a lot of resistance in human beings to change and to letting go of things that they felt were comfortable. But if on the other side, what's there is so much better and greater, wouldn't you just let go? Some people wouldn't, still, they wouldn't. Some people would just not be convinced. But a lot of people would. So what we want to point out is you can't see clearly yet what's on the other side. You can have your vision, what you feel, what you're feeling, but you can't see it yet. And that's by design, because the ability to let go of attachments is essential to evolution, to human evolution. So if you could see, oh, it's Shambhala over there, or whatever you call it. It's Eden. It's a magical world. You would let go of what's here right now, and you'd run towards it. But that is not exercising your ability to let go of attachments, because what would happen is you'd move to the new world, and you'd become attached over there to this, and you would become really attached. And then the next time that you're being nudged and the energy is evolving and wanting to evolve, you're going to have the same struggle with letting go. So this is your practice. So we would invite you to look at every day, and even within your days, where are you attaching? What are you attached to? What is it that you like, that you prefer, that maybe you are not having right now, that is disturbing to you, it's upsetting to you, and you want it because you're attached to it? Recognize you're attached to it. It may be something even that, like your body. Your body may not feel good. You may be attached to having a pain-free body, and right now your body has pain. So that is an attachment. So see things for what they are. See the attachments for what they are. Because until you can see the attachments as attachments, you cannot let go of them. And until you're able to let go of them, we are going to still have to have things like this virus happening to cause humanity to let go in a big way. Now, we also want to give you another perspective quickly on this virus. And this is understanding that all energy exists, and it is frequencies too, exists within geometric structures. It's a structure. Energy is, even though energy seems as an intangible thing, and a structure seems like a tangible thing, it really isn't. Energy patterns, energy flows are structures for energy. And energy, if you were ever to look at some measuring devices that measured energy, you would see repeating patterns in the energy measurement. And that's the energy's structure. Different frequencies have different structures. If you're in a frequency that is frequency A, and the earth has evolved, and you are moving towards frequency B, and that's where the energy is going, in between frequency A and frequency B has got to be a taking apart of the structure. So what's happening is it's breaking the flow of the energy, breaking the different energy, if you could call it bonds or movements, and putting it into a state of disorganization or chaos, where there's no patterns particularly, or many patterns that are all jumbling together. On the other side of that is a reorganization into a higher state of flow. So it's a higher state of pattern, a higher state of structure. There's many words we can use, and every word that we're choosing here is inadequate to actually describe what is happening, because human beings invented these words, and not that many human beings ever really thought about this. This is something that is studied in physics, your physics, and it is called chaos theory. And it can get quite complicated when you look at it from a physics point of view. But essentially what's happening is there's an organization of energy on one side here, A. And that organization, the movement, the impetus is always to become more within everything. The universe, called the universe, the cosmos, all of source. It's to become more. So that energy is desiring and moving towards more expression, becoming more. And on the other side of that is the more expression, the bigger expression, the whatever, stronger, bolder, whatever you want to call it. We could put all these words, just a new, big, new expression of that energy. We'll just say new. It's not really necessarily big or bigger. And in between, there is a dissolution or a dissolving or a breakdown or disassembling of the patterns and structures of the energy as it existed as A, that it has to go through to well, it's not but now newly assemble, newly structure itself as B. So that chaos is what is happening on the planet now. This virus is part of that. It is not all of it. It is part of it. And all of the situations that are coming out of the experience with the virus in all the countries is also part of it. And there is more that is part of it. And we want to say that there were many, many ways that humanity could have evolved. And this is really a gentle way. There could have been a really dramatic, violent way that humanity could have gotten to the other side, or the new, to B. We would just call it B. So this is a good way. This is a gentle way. It's a manageable way. Yes, it's chaotic. Yes, it can seem scary, but remember, that's mostly because of what's being said about it. And it is we would use the word manageable or handleable. Most beings can go with this flow. They can allow this to unfold, and they will move closer to that other side. So we are noticing that we are running into a lot of word issues here. And that's because, we want you to understand this, there really are not good words to describe the movement of energy and the evolution of energy. So each one of you is going to receive and hear a little bit differently, and that's fine. But we do want you to receive and hear this one thing in common, and that is what is happening is the natural evolution of energy. It's the natural movement of energy. Energy is always evolving, and you are an expression of energy. Basically, you are just energy. You think you're physical, but you're not. You see a reflection of a physical body. You can touch something, but that's just because you interpret particular energy. You were taught to interpret particular energy in a particular way, so you experience it as, quote, solid or physical. It's not. It's really not. When you first arrived as a baby, you didn't see physical energy. You saw energy. but you were taught what was physical and what was not. So within the earth experience, there's physical energy and there's non-physical energy. Again, it's duality, isn't it? So we want you to know, most of all, everything is okay. Everything is happening exactly as it should be. Everything will turn out okay. Beyond all this is that wonderful utopia, if you want to call it that, that you have been looking for. This is the journey. If you want to make the journey more comfortable for yourself, practice letting go. Look at where you're attaching to things within your life daily, because you'll notice that you are. So look at, where are you attached? What are you attached to? It might even be something as simple as, oh, you're attached to having quiet when you sleep, and there's something banging on the wall above you or outside making a lot of noise. If you can let go of that, you will fall right back to sleep and sleep soundly. If you can't let go of that attachment, you will have a terrible sleep. You won't sleep. So that's just an obvious, clear attachment that you can see. But there are attachments to different things. There's attachments to food. There's attachment to the different things that you wear. There's attachment to different humans. There's attachment to different actions. There's attachment to
Can I ask
different
a really
weather.
quick question?
Yes?
So how do we let go of or release that attachment?
You choose to. It's not difficult. First of all, you have to notice the attachment.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most important thing. Until you become aware of any specific attachment that you're experiencing, you have to clearly see it and identify it. So if you're attached to having quiet, well, that's pretty obvious. We'll use a different, more subtle one. Suppose you're attached to having particular food that you eat and having access to that food, and now there's no access to that food and you can't eat that food, and you notice that you're not happy about that you're cranky and you keep looking for the food. Is there a way that you can get that food? I don't want to eat this food, I want that food. That is an attachment. So most of the time humans get tied up, go around in circular thinking about what they're not having and how to get it. So they get caught up in that action. When it's at some point, because you're going to decide you're going to look for attachments, you will notice that, and you will notice, then you can ask, what am I attached to? Why am I doing this thinking? Why am I feeling this stress? So that stress comes out of attachments. What is it that I'm attached to? It could be that you're attached to doing a particular thing at a particular hour, and now you can't do that. And it's driving you crazy, and that creates a cascade of other events because you've been attached to other things happening in a certain way after you do that. Now none of that's happening, so there may be a series of attachments. But the most important thing is to look for the attachment. If you look for the attachment, you'll become aware of it. So if you have an attachment to a pain-free body, and your body has pain, and you're not happy because of the pain, and you're uncomfortable because of the pain, you can notice you have an attachment to a pain-free body. And then you can look and see what would happen if I released this attachment to the pain-free body. What would happen if I embraced my body as it is, with all of its different feelings in it and so on and so forth? Suppose I didn't attach the feeling in my body or sensation in my body to something that I consider painful. Suppose I just experienced it as a sensation in my body and embraced that. What would happen? And so you play with things that way. What happens when, another thing that happens, we would say, when human beings are attached and to something, and that something isn't there, they resist the situation that's there now. So you got that on top of the attachment. So if you're attached to a quiet time for your sleeping, and your sleeping is full of noises and banging and sawing or buzzing outside, you tend to resist that. You resist the noise. It makes you tense. It makes you stressed. And the resistance can also show you what you are attached to. So if you're resisting the noise, you're attached to the lack of noise or the quiet. So that's what you release, the lack of noise or the quiet. You release your attachment to the quiet and embrace the noise as perfect. If you can accept everything as perfect and everything as divine, then you can accept things that your mind might tell you are not good, or are not perfect, or are undesirable, or are bad. Because nothing is inherently bad. That's a part of the experience of duality, that we say that's bad, that's good. But really what it is that's less preferable to this. You can choose. You are a choosing being with free choice. You can choose what you prefer. You can choose what you like. You don't have to be what we would say, a victim of your programming. And if your programming has taught you it has to be quiet to sleep, when there's noise, you're going to resist it. You're going to resent it. You're not going to like it. You're going to say it's bad, and you're not going to sleep. And what we say is, notice all that, because all of it is attachment. It's attachment to things having to be a certain way. And when you're attached to things having to be a certain way, it's usually because throughout your experience, you learned that was better, or you were taught that was better, or you were taught this is the way it should be, that should word. But since nothing should be any particular way, and everything that is perfect, you can, with knowledge and recognition, release your attachment to things having to be that way and embrace the way that they are. And the thing is, once you embrace the way that they are, the stress goes, the discomfort goes, the struggle goes, the trying to change things and wanting it to be different goes. And you flow forward. Your energy flows forward. Your momentum is not stopped. When you struggle, when you resist, when you don't like, when you push back against, your forward momentum is stopped or slowed down by all that energy. So is that clear, Alara?
Yes, thank you. That, definitely clears it up. Absolutely, thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, well, we would like to take some quick questions from people to see if they have questions about what we just shared, what they want to know, and
awesome.
Go from there.
So if you do have a question for the collective about everything that we've just been talking about, you can either type it in the chat or you can raise your hand, and we can ask for their perspective on it. Okay. So in the meantime, I was just going to quickly ask you too about the roadmap, right, for navigating the energetic shifts, and that is along the same lines of this releasing and letting go of the attachment, right, and accepting, not necessarily accepting what is, but accept it, right? Yeah. Yes,
because navigating, really don't have to navigate per se the energetic shift. You are being carried along in this energetic momentum. The energy is moving. Where the discomfort comes from is when you try to stay stationary. We could use that old analogy of the river, the river with the rapids, and the river's moving along. It's going where it's going. And you will go with the river too if you allow yourself to, and it will be fine because the river knows where it's going and it doesn't crash into anything. It goes around rocks. But what happens is human beings get attached. They're attaching beings. And so you see a rock or you see a piece of land on the side and I like that. I want to be over there. And so you try to swim there against the current, or you grab onto a rock because you say, this is a nice rock. I'm just going to stay here. I'm tired of going along with the current. And that's when the discomfort happens. That's when it becomes difficult and hard. So as far as going with this evolution, with this momentum, you will go, you will flow. It's just a matter of letting go. So as you let go and release, and you notice where your attachments are, and then you release it, it's an ongoing thing. Human beings have a lot of attachments. You'll be surprised how attached you are to all sorts of things. How you're attached to how the toothpaste goes on the toothbrush. You're attached to where things might be in the refrigerator. You're attached to the way that the glass is sitting on the counter. I mean, you don't think that you are, but start noticing, and you'll be surprised how attached you are to all sorts of things. So as you release the attachments, you're releasing that trying to stay here, and you just naturally will get carried along. You will naturally flow. And that's not uncomfortable. That'll actually probably feel a lot like relief. It'll be a lot easier feeling. Mm-hmm. And as you're flowing, you will have a new vantage point. And so you'll look, from your new vantage point every day. You'll say, oh, how does, you don't have to think these words, but essentially you will be doing like, oh, how do things look from where I am today? How is this looking? And you will be noticing slight, subtle changes. You're not going to be sped along. You're not going to get yanked along and all of a sudden go flying, through the energy. It's not going to be anything dramatic like that. It's going to be soft and subtle. And a lot of that is because all of those attachments that you've built up over your whole life are not going to be released all at once. They're going to be released little by little by little. And then the job that you will have is to notice if you're tending to make new attachments along the way. So you might release an attachment to something here, and then you find something that is, okay, this works fine. I like this. This is great. Okay, I could go with this. And you're creating a new attachment to something new. You want to stay as loose and free of attachments as possible. Mm-hmm. So if you just accept you're an attaching being and then look to see where you're attaching, you'll be shown. You'll see.
Yeah.
And you will know how to release them.
Great, thank you. So
Some
there's a question from Angela. Yeah, okay. So Angela, that was a lot to take in because you shared quite a bit, and there was a lot. But at the same time, how do we know to what extent we are in acceptance? Because we are constantly clearing resistance and more layers keep popping up.
Okay. Clearing resistance and more layers popping up is another way of saying releasing and letting go of an attachment or attachments, and new attachments are showing themselves to us. Mm-hmm. That's what's happening. Everything is an attachment.
Yeah.
Excuse us, the body is making a frog. We don't know why it's called a frog. We really don't know what it is. It's called a frog. Oh, anyway, so you don't need to look at it as resistance. A new resistance is showing up. How did she put it again? She says you're releasing something.
We're constantly clearing resistance and more layers keep popping up.
Okay. The resistance is to the flow. So you're not clearing the resistance per se, you're clearing the attachment. So if there's resistance, the resistance is telling you, oh, there's an attachment to something here. What am I attached to? Obviously, I'm attached to something that's different from what I'm experiencing. What is that? And then you look to identify that and release that attachment. You let go, you just release that attachment. As soon as you are aware, you become aware of what an attachment is, you can release it. A lot of times you become aware of an attachment and you'll realize, oh, that's a really silly thing to be attached to. Wow, that's good. Sure, I'm always suffering because that almost never happens. So it's not the resistance that you need to release, because the resistance is resistance to moving forward, the flow of the natural energy, the flow of your natural energy too. And the only reason that is happening and you're experiencing that is because there's an attachment on the other side.
Yeah.
So once you release, if you look at it differently, see, there's been a lot of teaching about clearing and resistance and clearing layers and more. And that is, it's not really useful. Not at this point. It's so much more useful to look to see what you're attached to and let go. The energy momentum is moving much faster. So that what you need to be doing is letting go to see where you have anchored yourself in a different way of being, in a different past. What is it that you prefer? Sometimes it's more than prefer, it's stronger usually. So if you can do that, Angela, that will bring you a lot of releasing. It will feel like releasing because you are releasing the attachment. And the resistance, you won't experience the resistance. It will feel kind of like okay, like a relief. That's a good word to put, like a relief.
And so when she said, how do we know to what extent we are in acceptance? I think that just means, when things are flowing, when you're in the flow, that's, you're more in acceptance, right?
Yes, and we would say acceptance is not the right word to use here because acceptance is a mental word. If you think about things in terms of thought in mental, looking at things and energy movement, there's no acceptance in energy movement. There's just no acceptance. It moves. There's just not. It doesn't think about whether it accepts the movement. It just moves. Energy flows and it goes. It flows to become more. It expresses itself as more. That's the direction it's always going in. And there's just no acceptance present. So if you get hung up in this energy or thought of accepting something, that could be an attachment itself and tie you down. So you could be releasing all these other attachments, and not really feeling like you're releasing or moving along, or feeling any relief, as we say. And it's because you're attached to this concept of acceptance. So if you think something like that, and this goes for everybody, ask yourself the question, is this is this an isness within the cosmos, within source? Is acceptance an isness, or is it a concept? And look to see what you get.
So it's more about being detached, not being attached to things, including,
Well, that's what letting go of attachments creates. Yes.
Yeah. That's the state we want to be in.
But detached, we don't like the word detached. You know why? Yeah. It's a concept. Human beings have turned detached, which is really just an explanation of a situation, into a concept.
Right.
So we don't like that. So be aware of the words that are coming into your head and the words that you are hearing and how you are processing those words. Fact, well, we don't like the word fact because well, we have to decide if it's a fact or not a fact. We like the word isness. Isness. Because things is without necessarily you knowing whether they're a fact. So you don't have to know. The fact is a decision. So is it an is, or is it an
isness?
Yeah, an isness. Is it an isness, or is it, we forgot the other word that we used. What was that other word? That C word. What was the C word we used?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, we used a word.
A construct?
Concept, that's the word. Concept. Okay. Or is it a concept? And what you'll find is a lot of the things that you're using, that you're looking to measure things in your life and to guide yourself with, are concepts. So you can throw all them away. They're not really helpful at all. As a matter of fact, they can be, like we pointed out, an attachment themselves. Many people are attached to concepts.
Yeah.
Many. It's really interesting to us. I mean, it's like and they're also attached to descriptions. So, look and notice if you can accept you're an attaching being, that you create attachments, that is one of the things that human beings do really well. You are all experts at creating attachments. If you can just accept that about yourself and then look and see, well, where have I created an attachment? And a big hint is when you feel uncomfortable or you don't like something, that's saying, oh, there's an attachment to something else present here. And so then you can look to see, so what is it that I'm attached to that's not what I'm experiencing? See, sometimes it's more difficult to figure out, or not figure out, but to see the attachments when you're not bumping up against them. So in other words, when you're not feeling that, you know, they're not in your face saying, oh, I'm Italian, you know, I don't like this because I prefer it that way or I like it that way. That's an in-your-face attachment, and those ones are much easier to see. But the good thing is, the more you practice seeing your attachments, and then with consciousness letting go, we will go over really quick how easy this is to let go of them. Because Amy did something, and it's a perfect example. But we just want to let you know that the more you practice it, the easier it will be, and the more attachments you will be able to see and let go of, even more subtle ones. All right, so real quick, that example that we used about the noise and sleeping, Amy did an attachment letting go. She called it an experiment, but it was really a letting go of her attachment. She wasn't aware, using those words about it then. Okay, what happened was she was sleeping on a Saturday morning. It was about 8 o'clock. And outside the window, those leaf-blowing men showed up with that loud thing that they have with the hose. And they're roaring that thing outside of the window, roaring it. And she obviously woke up and said, what is that awful noise? And it's not a really pleasant sounding noise. And she said, oh, and she resisted it. She was attached to, of course, quiet for her sleep, or relative quiet for her sleep. And she resisted it. She was tense. She was lying in the bed. She was not sleeping. She was getting annoyed. She tried to go pound on the window, but they couldn't hear her or see her. And there was nothing to do. And she noticed how angry and tense she was. She said, you know what? I don't have anything else to do. I'm going to decide that this sound is divine. She said, I'm just going to decide that this sound is divine. It's a soothing sound, and that I will just, it will just soothe me right into sleep. And she made that conscious decision, just like that, with those thoughts. She didn't do anything. She didn't go into meditation, or she said, I am deciding, like a declaration, I'm deciding or declaring that this sound is a soothing sound. I'm going to hear this sound as soothing. I'm going to feel this sound as soothing. That was it. She got back in the bed, and before she even could think one other thought, she was out cold. And she slept soundly through all of that noise and that sound and woke up several hours later.
Awesome.
That's a releasing of an attachment. Now,
so it can be that simple, right?
It is always that simple.
Because Gina was asking that same question. It's like, so she was asking, so we shouldn't be perfectionists in our lives. All we have to do is recognize the attachment, feel the uncomfortableness, and mentally let it go, right? Is it that simple?
No. Yes, it's simple, but not exactly what she said. There's no mentally letting it go.
Consciously letting it go.
Yes, you're conscious, but you're not, we don't want you to think letting go.
Yeah.
So in other words, you're not letting go, you're choosing the current experience.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, you can let go till the cows come home. But unless you're choosing the current experience, you're not going to feel the relief. The relief and the shift is not going to show up. So the discomfort is showing you that you are not choosing the current experience, that you are attached to something other than the current experience. And your job is to notice that. And sometimes it's really clear what you're attached to. Oh, I'm attached to silence when I sleep and quiet. And sometimes it might not be super clear, but your job is to choose the current experience as perfect, as divine, because everything is divine and everything is perfect. Even when you don't think it is, and even when you have 100 billion reasons why it's not, it still is.
Mm-hmm.
So once you choose that, then you receive, you let go. That cuts the attachment.
Mm-hmm.
And it may not be a permanent cutting. The same thing might show up again for you to do the same thing, to let go of, to release. But the reason why we don't like you to focus on the letting go is we don't want you to focus on the letting go of the attachment part. We want you to focus on the choosing the present part.
Got it. And so, so the second part to her question was, how do we live and work with people who do not choose to be, or who are not releasing, who are not choosing to, release the attachments, etc.?
Well, that is an interesting question. We would say, know that that's what they're doing with awareness, and you can choose differently for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You may need to step away from them to powerfully make your choice, but you can choose differently. No one chooses for you.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
And if you're in a group of 50 people that are choosing something different, and they're choosing what you're attached to, and you want to choose the present, what's currently here, and let go of that, you can still do it. And you can be the happiest person in that group, and the only person in that group feeling relief and feeling great. Mm-hmm. It's possible. It is completely possible. So don't let what's going on around you, other human beings' choices, dictate yours.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. So there's a question from Devrani. She's asking, how can I release the resistance to receiving? I'm going to say, how can I release the attachment to not receiving? We're going to.
Yes. Okay. Well, we would say, we would say there's a different attachment there. If you're mm-hmm. not receiving, there's an attachment to being unworthy of receiving. Mm-hmm. There's something else there. And because the natural flow of energy is to come to give to you, and for you to give it also. So you receive and give, and energy just does that. It flows to you, and then it flows from you. And if you're not, when you say not receiving, you're receiving. You are 100% receiving because you can't not receive. You are referring to not receiving the things that I want to receive, and so therefore I'm saying I'm not receiving, and this situation is not acceptable to me. Where's the attachment? The attachment is to what you are receiving. You are not liking what you're receiving. Mm-hmm. And so you're saying you're not receiving. You want to receive something different. Instead of different, use the word more. And I want to receive more. I want to receive and. So I'm receiving this. But first you need to accept and embrace what you are receiving as okay. So if what you are receiving is okay, then you are open, or you've created an opening to receiving more. So it's not that you're not receiving, because you are receiving something that you've decided you don't like.
Yeah, and it's not that you're resisting the receiving, but you just don't like what you're receiving.
Don't put the word resisting in there. Yeah, don't put the word resisting in there, because it confuses things because of how the mind works. Yeah. So just look at, you are receiving because you are a living human being. So therefore you have to be receiving. So you are making a conscious decision that you don't like what you are receiving, and you want to receive something else. Therefore, you have an attachment to not receiving what you're receiving. You have an attachment to receiving something that does not look like what you are receiving. But that attachment is going to hold you where you are, receiving that which you don't like. Same as resisting it, and the same as the noise will keep you awake. So you have to let go of not liking where you are, and start seeing where you are as perfect. So it's divine, it's perfect. You are receiving, and what you are receiving is perfect. And in order for your mind to be able to do this more easily, you can add, it is perfect, and it is the launching point for me to receive more. It is the perfect place. I am in the perfect place right now for me. And notice if you're still feeling that you need to be receiving something different from what you're receiving. If you are still feeling that, you are still attached to not receiving what you are receiving. So this is where that word that Alara used before, acceptance, can be used. So it's an acceptance of what is. So it's a little more subtle in than a lot of other attachments, because it's both of them are receiving. So we want to make sure that everyone realizes that there is no such thing as not receiving. There is no such thing. If you are alive as a human energy being, you are receiving. And you're always receiving. It's just that you don't have decided that you're attached to receiving something different than what you're receiving. And so you don't like what you're receiving. So notice it from the attachment perspective, and you will have much more power over it. We don't even like to see that, but have much more ability to work with it and to shift it by letting go of the attachment.
So there's another question. Edwin is asking, so in the isness, we don't have to do anything, just be?
No. You have to accept. You have to accept the isness. You have to see the isness as perfect. And we would say, yes, being is wonderful. And we would say that's all you have to do, but human beings are almost completely unable to be.
And this
human
is
beings
this
are
is a
unable
doing
to
universe.
Be.
Right?
You're a series of thoughts. You're a series of energy movements. It's almost impossible for you to just be.
Yeah.
And that's part of that's by design for your human experience. So, go ahead.
No, that's what I was saying, that in this reality, it is a doing reality. We still have to do, and we can be, but we still have to create. We still have to do stuff. You can't just
we will put it
sit
to you this
there
way.
and do
It's not
nothing.
so much that you have to do stuff, because you can sit like a bump on a log in the woods.
You can,
and
yes.
think that you're being, but you're not, because what you're doing is there's thoughts going through your head, there's noticing, there's observing. If you were just being, your mind would not be interpreting the energy that is coming in through your senses as something, and you would not be projecting that reality out as a reality that you're living in. So you can never stop being, because there would be no reality. No reality as you know it, no things. There'd be pure energy and light. So you be to create your reality. So the part, going back to her question, since you are not able to just be, we will put that out. What you want to do is embrace. We like that word better even than accepting. Embracing means loving it, choosing it, loving it. You want to choose and embrace what is present. So suppose you had a plan to go out and sit in the woods and meditate, and on Tuesday. We picked Tuesday for some reason. And Tuesday, and you were going to spend an hour to 2 hours out there just with the nature and the trees, and you were just going to be there in the nice, cool shade of the woods meditating. And then Tuesday comes along and it's pouring rain. Or you go out and you go to your little meditative spot and it's nice, and all of a sudden a big cloud comes over and pours rain on you. Well, most human beings would not be happy with that. They would be upset, and they would not like it one bit, and they would resist it. because they're attached to that which you wanted, that perfect vision of that nice little meditative day.
Yeah.
We say, in the moment, right there, then, with the rain pouring on your head, is an amazing opportunity, an amazing present moment for you to embrace it. Let go of the attachment to what you thought had to be the perfect experience.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
So realize whenever something is not feeling good, when you're not liking it, or when you think it should be different, or you're uncomfortable with it, it's because you have an attachment to it being different. And then it's your job to see, what are you attached to it being instead of how it is, and release that.
Mm-hmm. Totally makes sense. So I know that we're going to do a guided meditative journey as well today.
Yep. We're gonna go into the portal. Oh, we want to mention this real quick, but we have to blow the nose. Hold on. This nose is not cooperating with us today. But it's not that bad, but it's that the allergies. The windows are open, and we guess the pollens are coming in. So what we want to now we forgot what we were going to say. What did you said about the journey?
Mm-hmm. The guided meditative journey, but we also want to talk a little bit about the special
right.
offer.
Okay, this is what we wanted. Yes. This is what we wanted to mention real quick. The Portal of Divine Rebirth. The reason why we overlooked it is because 2020 is a portal. It's not a year. You think it's a year. It's not a year. You entered a portal on the 20th, on January 1st of 2020, and you will exit the portal on December 31st, 2020. Right now, you are in the middle of the portal. You are in the portal. And what we're going to do is we're going to take you inside the portal. And there's also, you also will have the opportunity to master working within a portal and being in a portal within the special offer, because there is a portal journey in there. So anyway, what we want to point out is that everything, the context for everything that's happening right now is this portal. That you are in this portal of divine rebirth. And it is a divine rebirth portal, not just a rebirth portal, it's divine. This is all divine, it's perfect, everything that's happening. Rebirth meaning that you are being birthed completely anew. Everything is being birthed completely anew. And you're not the only one, everyone. So we just want you to have that context. And now we will talk about our offer. So let us see, where is our offer?
Okay, so for those of you who are on the live page, you can just click on special offer. Those of you who are not, you can go to alara.at/show/Amy5. And this is
Amy 5. We like that. That's like 7 of 9. We will be Amy of 5 of 9.
This is the activate the unlimited abundant you and make the difference you want to make in the world.
Right. Oh, okay. You're reading it? Yes. Now, how you're going to activate it, okay, is doing a lot of the things that we talked about. We want you to read through this, okay, and we want you to look at, we actually want you to get it. What is in this offer is everything that is designed intentionally to expand your awareness and expand your awareness of energy and the state of flow within energy. The first thing here is the crystalline grid, and it's called a living love connection. This is an experience where you actually dissolve into this energy of living love, which is the energy of source. Everything that is made of this energy. And of this energy is this crystalline grid, which is around the planet. And you are a point in this grid, along with everyone else. And as you get to experience all the energy, you are connected to every other being through the grid. And it meshes together, and you are a point, a corner, we would say, a meeting of the grid. We don't know how to put it. And everyone is. And the energy flows from you to others and back to you, and it flows through you. And it just gives you a magnificent sense of the interconnectedness of the whole and your part in it, how you are a piece of this interconnectedness and you are part of this whole. And you also experience the energy and the light of the grid flowing through you. It's it's extremely powerful, extremely powerful. All right, the next thing that we have here is an unlimited and abundant, and this is a program. And this program teaches you, as that one question asked, we forgot who asked, who didn't like what she was receiving. She wanted to be receiving something else, so she thought she wasn't receiving. This program points out to you, allows you, we would say actually better, allows you to become aware of what you are looking to receive, what you are not liking that you're receiving, and also what we would say filters or discriminations do you have up that are preventing you from receiving that which you say you would rather receive. So there's a lot of stuff going on in there. There's a lot of attachments that you will see. There are a lot of insights, and there's a lot of making new choices. That's a big one in here. Making new choices. Choosing what is and making new choices beyond that. So you'll be becoming aware of attachments a lot in this program. A lot. It's designed to do that. It's designed to point them out to you. And then you let go of them. So it's very, very powerful. Okay. The next thing in our package is the guided multidimensional portal journey. And this is a very powerful meditation. We call it a meditation because we take you into an altered state. It's not a sitting there just, you're actively coming along with the energy. So it's a guided journey. And in this journey, you are going into a very powerful portal. It's a big portal. There are many, many portals that exist all around you. It doesn't just have to be the one main portal of divine rebirth. But this, you can interpret this or allow this to be the portal of divine rebirth for you, or you can allow it to be an ordinary portal, whichever. It's up to you. It's not, you're not told anyway what the portal has to be. And in this portal, you will meet interdimensional beings. We call them the portal beings. They are there to support you, to guide you, to love you. They are actually all around you now, right now in this year 2020, ready to step forward and guide you and support you. You just need to know they're there and ask. And you'll get experience with what they are like. Their energy is different from beings that are within dimensions. So once you become familiar with their energy, you'll be able to have them support you and to communicate with them in an energetic way outside of something like this meditation. And this journey will allow you to bring your declarations forth. You can make declarations in here. You can declare what you want. So you're new, the things that you can declare what you want to let go of, the attachments that you're seeing, and you can declare your how you want it to be. In other words, we're not really sure of the best words. But this energy within a portal is some of the most concentrated, supportive creation energy that there is. It's just very powerful. And the meditation and the journey feels amazing, amazing. You will love this. Oh, very expansive and empowering. The next part of our package is the instant joy. Instant joy, it's a meditation, little journey, whatever you want to call it. It's this nice little short guided meditation to build light and joy within your belly and your body and expand it outwards and build this sense of just bursting joy coming through you. You become so filled with this happy, joyful energy and so bright. And we recommend this anytime you're not feeling like a bundle of joy. It's easy, it's fast, and it is amazing how well it works. You will feel awesome. It is so joyful. joyful. And then you can take that joy out into the world and share it. Just by being present, you will share that joy. The next thing that we have are special frequencies. These are living frequencies, and they are light encoded divine crystalline activations, and they are to activate specific things for you in your life right now. First one's no stress, relax and regenerate. Oh, by the way, these are very short. They're maybe about 8 minutes. Some are 5 minutes or 6 minutes. We think the longest one might be 10 minutes. We don't even think there's one 10 minutes. We think it's 9 minutes. So they're short, and they are energy transmissions, meaning there's very little speaking. They're very relaxing because you're taken into a relaxed state. There is speaking to do that. And then this energy is transmitted to you and then activated. So it is very nice, easy to use, easy to listen to. As we said, the first one's a no stress. The next one are activations for optimal health and well-being. Then we have energy and activations for optimized relationships. Energy, the next is activations for increasing the vibration to 5D. Next, energy and activations for abundance. And the next is energy and activation for business and career success. So these are all just very beautiful, uplifting, and easy to use, as we said. And they work well. They work well. You can use them daily. You can use them before you go to sleep. They're great before you go to sleep because you set your frequency a certain way, and then that expands as you sleep. Okay, the next thing in here is the wonderful, multidimensional, it's called still Money Reiki Healing Session, but it really is so much more. So it's more called the MMRT. And the MMRT is a multidimensional. It accesses across many dimensions from 4 and 5D all the way through 11D. And these frequencies are infused in you and then activated. So you're surrounded in this energy, and they're in a special energy field during the session. And then these very specific frequencies are infused into you. Every month there are a different set of frequencies and activations that are present, and they're more present, in other words, than other frequencies. And these are the frequencies that are infused into you during this session. Oh, we noticed that this says the wrong information. It says a March 27th session. Okay, that is obviously the wrong information. We are in May, and the session in May is going to be at the end of May, and it will be, let's see, on the 29th of May. So we will have Amy fix that after the session to read the correct information. And the May session has got specific light activations that are activations for, we would say, comfort, expansion of your vibration and your ability to hold the what is and to resonate with the what is, and energy to infuse your desired declarations. So their declarations are a statement of what is. So you're declaring a new what is. And so to infuse those with light, there are pineal, third eye, and pituitary activations, higher heart activations, multi-strand DNA activations, cellular light activations. Your whole body will be, what's the word, evolved or transformed to hold more light in every cell, and many other activations that are just gorgeous. There, which we have some listed here that you can read when you go to the page. Just remember that it is the May 29th MMRT, and that is the one that is coming, not this one. And then the next item is the crystalline rainbow starlight frequencies. Now, we didn't announce this at the beginning of the session, but throughout this session, we have been emitting and transmitting this beautiful energy, this crystalline rainbow starlight frequencies. This energy is just very light, very delicious. It's very soothing. It just uplifts you. It's almost as if it picks you up and carries you around on a big, fluffy white cloud. So it's just a very beautiful, soothing, relaxing energy. It reduces stress. It transforms stress into a sense of ease and delight. It's very perfect energy for right now with all the what would say collective stress going on the planet right now. This lifts you right up out of it. It's just very beautiful in that way. So that is, you get 30 days of these beautiful frequencies, and they flow 24/7, and you can customize the flow. And by the way, they also clear the energy of your space, your home, and they flow to all of your pets. Your pets receive these frequencies along with you. So that is great. And again, you can customize them anytime you want. You will be sent instructions on how to do that. Now that, all of the things that we said are what is equal to package A. So that is package A, and or special offer A, whatever you want to call it. Now special offer B adds a beautiful session. This is a session for you alone, whereas the MMRT session is a group session. This is a session for you. It's a personal energy surgery session, and it's an energy frequencing session which takes place within the surgery session with Amy and the light beings. The light beings are also assisting in the MMRT sessions. She works with 3 beautiful light beings, and they are up between the 7th and 9th dimension. It depends which ones show up for this session. Really, they just come, they choose themselves. And they show up and they work with Amy to do this session. What happens in this session is your body is brought into a special etheric chamber, and it is then opened, your energy body is then opened up, and Amy and the light beings work surgically on changing and replacing energy in different things. They repair any areas that are damaged. They rejuvenate things like joints and cells. So then they do things like detoxify and strengthen different organs like the livers and the intestines. They even infuse intestines with light bacteria that then grow and populate in the physical. Everything done, they do repairs on different parts of the body. Everything done in the energy body is reflected in the physical body. So while they're working on the energy body, then the repairs then become either we would use the word reflected or manifested in the physical body. So they will be part of the physical body. It's pretty magical how all that happens, but it happens because even your physical body is an energy body. So it's just working on one aspect of your energy body, which imprints and shows up in the other energy body. And this energy session, you just basically lie down for the surgery. It feels good. It doesn't feel uncomfortable. You might feel some pokings or pressure or things like that, maybe nudges, but you won't feel anything that is uncomfortable. It doesn't feel like there is a surgery per se going on, but it is done, excuse us, the frog is back, with a surgical precision. And so that is included in package B or offer B. So offer B is everything that is in offer A, and then adding this energy surgery session too. So it's really a good deal. So that is it. We want you to go to the page, which is at Amy 5.
Yeah, Amy 5, exactly. No, that's beautiful. And I love how, you know, because normally you don't offer the 30-minute session. So this is awesome for people. Is it just physical stuff, or do you work on other areas too?
We work on everything, or we should say Amy works on everything. She removes any negative or energy implants that are not serving you are removed. Your energy is realigned. All of your chakras are, the spin is actually stopped. They're balanced, and then the spin is restarted at the proper speeds. So and energy is infused into every cell, Every cell is infused with the proper balance of light and frequency for it to perform at its optimal level. So even if there is nothing that needs, quote, repairing physically, there's a lot of work that will be done energetically. And we will say that Amy always reports that everybody's liver needs work. Everybody's liver has been overworked and can use some love and restoration. It's a very hard-working organ. It was actually an organ and a gland both, and it works very, very hard. So it's really nice, and you feel that, the effects of that overall, when you have your liver rejuvenated and the light within it raised to a beautiful level, like the ideal level.
Great, thank you. So those two offers are available at alara.at/show/Amy5, or just click on the link. Either you can go there or click on the link. Awesome, thank you.
Yes, and everyone should remember that if they go there now, that it's not March, it's May, and we will have Amy fix that when we're through with the session. So it will say the right one.
Awesome, great. All right, so I know we're going to do a meditative journey now to actually go into the portal that we were talking about earlier.
Yes. Yes, we will tell you what we're going to do, so you have a little bit of an expectation. We're going to do a guided meditative journey, so that means we want everyone to lie down and get into a comfortable position. So just make yourself comfortable, because we don't want you to feel stress anywhere in your body. And what we're going to do is we're going to relax you first and bring light into your body so that we raise the frequency of your body. And then we're going to guide you right into a beautiful portal. And all portals are light filled. They're magnificent. And each one is slightly different. So we don't know yet which one we're going to go into today. We will see. We're not going to go into the Divine Portal of Rebirth only because we're already in the Divine Portal of Rebirth, and you're already present within that. So we're going to go into another portal that exists, and you're going to experience what it's like, how being in a portal is different. You'll be able to see how it's different from being in a dimension. Portals exist between dimensions, and they don't exist within a dimension. And you'll also experience the love that's in the portal and the interdimensional beings, or the portal beings, that live there. So we are assuming everybody is comfortable, and we will start now. So we want you to just focus right now on breathing beautiful light in through the top of your head. You can consider it like a breath of light flowing in through your crown, and feel it or visualize it flowing down, all the way down through the center of your body. Flow it all the way down to your lower abdominal area. And imagine it filling up your abdominal area in a big ball of light. And as it fills this big ball of light, if you inhaled and you want to exhale, you can exhale through your mouth and leave all of the light within your body. And we're going to breathe in another light, big, big, bright stream of light in through the crown, and flow it down, all the way down, all the way down to the lower abdominal area, where it fills the abdominal area and brightens this ball of light. And the ball of light begins to swirl gently and slowly, relaxing every part of your body. Every muscle is letting go and releasing. And the light starts to flow down your legs. And it's filling your legs, both legs, all the way down to the toes. And the muscles are relaxing as the light flows into them. And then the light flows up from your abdominal area, filling all of the organs, relaxing all of the organs in the abdominal area, and the muscles in the trunk and the back and the chest, relaxing. Everything feels so soft and relaxed. Everything. Now we're going to breathe in some more light through the crown. Breathe it in gently and slowly, and it just flows down to the bottom of the jaw, and it flows through the neck, and it flows down the arms, filling the arms with light, relaxing the muscles across the back of the neck and the top of the shoulders, and the muscles that are around the neck and the face, the muscles in the jaw, and the muscles in the forehead, and the muscles in the sides of the head and around the scalp. All of the muscles are relaxing, relaxing. Muscles around the mouth, relaxing. And the light just flows into the arms, and it radiates out your fingertips, and it's radiating out from your feet and radiating out around you, creating a light field. You are glowing brightly like an energy light being. And now we're going to take your consciousness and we're going to bring your awareness into that field of light around you. So while your consciousness is filling the whole field of light, we're going to travel. And we're going to travel by choosing to. So you're going to, with the power of your choice, bring your energy field forward toward what looks like a big opening within the energy field around you. You can see this energy opening. It looks like there is energy swirling around the opening that is moving a little bit faster than the energy that's around it. So you can see the light. You can see the light moving. You can see the form of this opening. And you look within it, and you can see that there's pulsing light within it. You can't really tell what's in there yet, but you can tell that there is an inside. And now, by deciding and choosing to do so, you are going to bring your energy field and your energy body forward beyond that light opening, beyond this opening into this portal, as we would call it. And you move beyond the opening into the inside of the portal, or the beginning of the portal. And what you notice is you're noticing that the quote walls, they're not exactly walls, but to you they could be seen as walls of the portal, are rotating slowly around. They're just moving slowly around you. And they're filled with light. And the light is a light that is filled with sparkles. And it's got a beautiful, it's got like an ebb and a flow to it. So the light brightens, and then it gets a little less bright, and then brightens up again, a little less bright. And within this movement of this light, there are these sparkles and twinkles that are there. And they seem almost alive to you. But you're not really sure whether they are, but you appreciate them because they're so beautiful. They're just so gorgeous and beautiful, sparkling around you. And you feel pulled to move forward into this opening more. And so you do. And the sides are still rotating ever so slowly. When we say slowly, we mean slowly around you. And the light's twinkling and changing and moving. This is a fairly good-sized portal. So there is plenty of space around you. You could probably line up 10 of you alongside you, or maybe 5 of you. It depends how you want to see the portal. And there's plenty of room around you from the sides of the portal. And the movement of the light is just beautiful. And you're sensing that there's something more there. You can't really know what it is because it's different than anything you've experienced, but you're sensing there is something there. And with your intention to know, your curiosity, you just put the thought out. What is here? Is there something here? May I see it? What is it? And as you put that thought out, you notice that the energy seems to form into, we would say, kind of a shape of some sort. And you notice that there's a lot of these shapes around you forming. And they seem to have a shape of that is a vertical shape of some sort. And it appears to be almost like a vertical oval or something that is a long and a tall oval. And these lights, they're lights, and they pulsate. And you could see them now. They're lining the inside of this portal. They're not on the top and they're not on the bottom, but they're along the sides of the portal. And they're there, and you can sense that they're aware of you, and they're looking at you, and they're watching you, though you don't see that they have eyes. But you know that they can tell that you're there, and they're aware of you. And they're conscious. You can tell they're conscious. So you put another thought out, and you say, what are you? Who are you? And you receive back from them a knowing that they are the portal beings. They are the inhabitants of this portal. They are interdimensional beings. They can take many forms. They are showing themselves to you right now in their, quote, no form, where they just kind of are an elongated energy. But they can actually assume many forms and appear to you in many different ways. And they are here because they live here within the portals. And they are here to support you and to nourish you with love and energy whenever you come into a portal. When you come into a portal, to travel through a portal, to learn something about yourself from a portal experience, to implant a desire or a declaration, a declared future per se, in a portal, the beings are always here to support you with this loving energy. It's almost as if they hold you like a hug, and you can feel this energy from them. You can feel like this hug coming through the energy of the portal. So as you look at these beings, you can ask them to, well, can you show me more of the portal? What is it that is in the portal that will inform me, that I can use to know more about myself and my beingness? And they will answer for you. And if you notice, they are brightening up. They are like flashing light. They're getting brighter and then dimmer, brighter and then dimmer, and they're becoming brighter and brighter each time they do that. And they're now showing up more and more against the quote walls of the portal. And they are coming forward to you. You do not need to be afraid. They're coming. A few of them are coming around you, and they are forming a circle around you, with you in the center of the circle. And they're asking you to close your eyes. Your eyes are probably closed, but in case they were open within the portal, they're asking you to close your eyes. And they're saying they're going to show you the potential of the portal for you. And so now, with your eyes closed, allow yourself to relax and allow yourself to just see, to just be shown, to just receive. If you are not a visual person, you may be feeling. You will be receiving a knowing, a sense of knowingness. So we will allow you to receive that. It's going to be different for each one of you. So we will allow you to just receive that from the pulsating portal beings all around you. You are knowing what this portal is for you in this moment. You are seeing how you can benefit or use, we would use the word utilize this portal at this moment for yourself. Now the portal beings are moving away, and they are sending the communication that they want you to imprint this portal. Imprint the portal right now with something that you desire to experience. You do not need to have a particular way of doing that. There is no right way or wrong way. They are just saying, imprint. Use your focus, your energy. Imprint the energy of something that you desire into this portal field. So do that. Good. And as you are doing that, or finished doing that, you will see the portal beings are now getting brighter and brighter and brighter along the sides, and they are infusing the portal with this light, a very special, loving light. It's a loving, creative force. They're infusing this portal so that the portal becomes very, very, very bright. And now the light is now going back down. The light beings on the side, the portal beings, are becoming less bright and getting back more to their normal state. And they are communicating to you that they love you very much, that they are here always within the portals for you. They exist within all portals. They are always here. And if you are journeying into a portal, you will always have them there to support you. Since the whole 2020 is a portal, they are present all around you, within your life, now, there to support you. You just need to call upon them. They are here. All right, so now we're going to say goodbye to the portal beings and thank them for their love and their support. Send them love. And they're sending you back love as they pulsate again. And now they are dissolving back to where you can't see them, into the walls of the portal. They are still present. Their energy is just now more of the same as what appears to be these walls of the portal. And now we're going to be coming back out of the portal. So feel your energy now being moved back, withdrawing from this portal energy, this portal space, just coming out of the portal, flowing out, bringing the magic and the love of the portal and the portal beings with you. You're filled with that vibration. And now your energy body within your energy field is now flowing back into your physical body, flowing in, just kind of lying back into your physical body and flowing right down into the physical body, so that now you are within, your consciousness is within your physical body. Good. And you can feel your physical body. You can move it. You can sense it. You can feel it. And now we're going to bring you right back gently to a normal type of state of consciousness, we would say, where you are aware in your present surroundings. So we're going to gently count you to a normal state of consciousness. So we're going to start with a 1, and we're going to count up to the number 7. Or maybe the number 8. We prefer the number 8 today. 8 is a balanced, divine number with the 2 bubbles on each side, heaven, earth, above, below. It's a beautiful balance. We're going to count to the 8. So we're going to start now with 1, 2. You're feeling more and more of your physical body as we count up. 3, 4. You can feel your body breathing. You can feel the blood pumping and moving through the body. 5. You're more aware now of the dimensionality of the body. 6. 7. Now you can feel the weight of the body pressing upon the surface that you are lying or sitting on. 8. Oh, now you are conscious. You're aware of your space. You're fully aware of being in your body. And we ask you to now open your eyes, blink, look around, see your space, see if it looks different to you. Because the portal that you just traveled through, or into, not through, actually is in the space that you are in right now. That's the interesting thing about portals. They're all around you. And sometimes you can see them opening. So we just want you to look where you are. We want to make sure that everybody is back. Laura, are you back? We're not sure.
I am.
You're back?
I am.
Okay. How was that for you? We'd like to know if anyone wants to write in, put a note. How was that? How was that journey? How was that portal experience for you?
It was great. I mean, I just want to share really quickly what I experienced. At first, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but when you said to like connect with the portal beings and what did you see, that kind of thing. So at first it was more of a feeling, and then what I started to see was on the walls or in front of me, I saw like all sorts of like not hieroglyphics per se, but light language everywhere. You know,
right.
So it was
right.
really neat. I was not expecting that at all.
Right. Well, they communicate with light language. They communicate with feelings and impressions, and they can show up to everybody, or they will show up to everybody differently. They will show up in a way that is the most beneficial for you to see them at that moment.
Yeah.
So,
really cool.
Then your next portal journey, you might see them completely differently. They might show up completely differently to you. So they're very adaptable beings. They're beings of pure energy and light.
Yeah.
And the difference between them and what we call light beings is that they're interdimensional. They do not exist within any dimension. They exist within the spaces between dimensions. And really, when we say spaces, the human mind thinks of a physical gap. There's no such thing as a physical gap between dimensions, but there are energy fluctuations, energy spaces. So that's great that you saw that. That is wonderful.
Yeah, that was fun. And Julie says, thank you. That was amazing. Definitely felt the higher beings. So relaxed. I actually nodded off for a few minutes.
Oh, good.
I feel very harmonious now. Even saw the sparkle of lights. That's awesome.
Wonderful.
And Kat says, that was beautiful. I'm back, although I wanted to stay.
Right. Well, we know that you wanted to stay, but since you are a dimensional being, you do need to return to your dimension. You cannot live within dimensions, in between them for too long. Yeah. We will say, though, that you can travel. We have the dimensional portal journey that is in the special offer is a much longer portal journey, and it goes much deeper, and the interdimensional portal beings take you through the portal to peek out into the dimension on the other side, which is completely different than the dimension that you normally inhabit. So that's a very fun, exciting thing.
Oh, awesome.
You get to see other dimensions. Yeah. They don't take you into it because you're not compatible with that dimension. Your energy is not compatible, but you get to look into it. So it's fun. Yeah, real fun.
Becky is saying that was wonderful. I saw the glowing lights getting brighter and brighter. I also got a bit lost in the experience, enjoying and got lost in it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of normal because there aren't the normal reference points that exist within the dimension in the interdimensional space. Yeah. So it is possible to get a feeling of I'm not
lost
sure where I am.
Lost in a good way. I think that
good.
Lost just means really being in the experience,
Okay, really immersed. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Losing that, yeah. Okay. Yes, we get it now. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So that's great. That's awesome. And she says, yeah, that's a better word. Whatever you said, I don't even know. I'm like totally, immersed.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was great. So,
That's great.
yeah, so that's definitely something you want to do again and again. And like you said, we can always go back anytime we want, to experience more, to learn more from these portal beings and just, whatever else, right?
Yes. And we highly recommend the Portal Journey that is in the special offer, because that, as we said, it really, really spend time with the portal beings, and you do get to experience traveling through. The process of traveling through the portal is quite interesting too. And then looking out into the other dimension is a very amazing, profound experience.
Right.
So it's really, it's just a great, we are smiling. We are making the face smile right now. So.
Good. So yes, please do take advantage of the packages that are available for you that at alara.at/show/Amy5. There are 2 packages, and the second one, package B, includes a 30-minute session with Amy and the beings of light, and so, which sounds awesome. I don't think we've ever done that before, so that sounds awesome. So thank you for offering that as well.
We don't know. We don't think so. We think that she probably did not offer that exact thing.
Yeah.
It's new.
So it's cool. Yay. Awesome.
Yeah.
So is there anything else that you would like to share with us before we go today?
Let us think. Well, we will leave you with this. Everything that you think is not. And everything that you believe is not. What you think is, think we could say is similar to a belief, but what you think and believe is what you have been taught, how you have been taught to see and interpret what is. So if you have that knowing, if you can accept that what I see is not what is, or what I believe is not what is, then there is a possibility that opens for you to be with what is. There's something new that's there. So, and we want you to remember that major, big tendency to attach, and that attachments are just decisions. Now, some attachments are taught decisions, but they're basically decisions and preferences that have been reinforced. So you can choose differently, easily. Remember that example we gave you with Amy and the noise when she was wanting to sleep? Yeah. Horrible noise, very loud noise. Just a decision changed it. So never underestimate your power of choice. It's really powerful. It is amazingly powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. And we love being here with everybody. We loved sharing all this with you. We hope that it has been very insightful and helpful. And you may want to listen to it again, because you may find that your mind is resisting some of it. Because the mind is the attaching mechanism. Yeah. So your mind likes to attach. So if you notice that you're losing some of it, listen to it again. Listen to it again and allow it to become a part of how you be, what you do every day, noticing the attachments. Just have it become natural. And it will. The more you practice it, it will become natural.
Awesome. Good. Thank you. Yeah, it was a very enlightening session, a beautiful session, people are saying. So yes, thank you.
Good. And we hope that everybody who was feeling uncomfortable prior to the session physically is feeling wonderful right now physically.
Awesome.
Yes?
Yes. Thank you.
Good. You're welcome. Welcome. All right. So we are complete. So we'll let Amy come back real quick to say goodbye.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Okay. All right. I'm trying. All right. Wow. Okay. All right. They do not want to
Awesome.
go. They never
Welcome
want to
back,
go.
Amy.
They want to stay forever. They don't ever want to leave. They want to kick me out and move in.
Mm-hmm. No, that was a great call, great session, great topic and everything. It was great. It was wonderful.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm really, really glad.
Mm-hmm.
I love being here with everybody, and I know that they love talking to everybody. They love sharing, and they love providing insights into things in ways that insights maybe weren't provided before. Because they're doing that for me all the time. It's like, I think they have an endless well of insight and an endless well of analogies, and it's just, they never seem to end. There's always another way of looking at something.
Yeah, that was wonderful. So, yeah, we really enjoyed it. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And it was wonderful to be here with everybody, even though I wasn't here.
Yeah, it's funny that way, right? It's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of funny that way, Yeah. And I never get to know what they're going to say beforehand. Mm-hmm. They give me a general idea, and they help me, kind of write it out, for the topic. Mm-hmm. But I really don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it's really weird. So, I mean, and so far they've never misled me. They've never given me a topic and then talked about something that was completely different. So that would be a little bit embarrassing.
Yeah, that would be weird. Yes, absolutely. No, yeah, it was wonderful.
So they've not done that. So I'm okay with that they don't do that. So anyway, all right. But thank you for having me and us.
It was great. It's been a while, so it was great to have you back on the show. Thank you so much. And yeah, wonderful, relevant topic, wonderful process that we did. And wonderful questions from everybody. So thank you for those as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it seems like the questions were really wonderful from what I can hear. I can't remember them when I think about them, but in the present moment, they felt good.
Yes, exactly. So, so thank you for that. And again, please do take a look at the special offers. Take advantage of them, because I think this is the first time Amy is actually offering these 30-minute sessions in this way. So I don't think.
For the energy surgery, absolutely,
Yeah, so please do take advantage of those as well right now, because we could all use a little bit more support and assistance. So why not, right? Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Good. Absolutely.
Awesome.
And
thank you so much, Amy.
I did say, because I remember this, remember, everything is perfect.
Yes, everything is perfect. Everything is divine.
Right. Exactly.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for all your questions. Thank you for being here with us, sharing this beautiful experience. Thank you. And until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all much love and blessings always. Bye for now. Thank you, Amy.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.